All right, guys, and welcome back to episode 90 of the Impact Defense podcast. We are just now 10 away from 100. Holy crap. Okay, aside from that, though, we are going to be joined today by Jeff from the Atomic Bear. We are super excited because we've talked a lot about their products and stuff, but we have actually never had him on the podcast. So we're really excited about that.
Hope you guys enjoy.
So before we get into the actual interview today, we would like to just say that we have been working with the Atomic Bear for quite some time. And if you do happen to go to their website at theatomicbear.com and order anything over there, be sure to use the coupon code Impact Defense to get yourself 20% off at checkout. Hey guys, and today we are with Jeff from the Atomic Bear. Jeff, if you would like, or if you don't mind, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I founded the Atomic Bear in 2017. So it's a baby company that I started with almost no money, and with the hope of helping more people to survive and make it through tough times. And now it's been 5 years, sorry, and it's going super well. And that's but for me, it was a big change in my life. So I was working a corporate job full time, and I decided to just to leave and do this. So now I'm like on a podcast with you guys, and I'm super excited to have this conversation, and maybe some other auditors will also. I want to say something. Maybe I will say a word that you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, because I'm French speaking basically. So sometimes I just like my wife would tell you, I make her laugh a lot. I use words in the wrong way, so don't hesitate to just redirect or ask questions if I'm just being weird. So I'm not trying to be weird. This is the way I am.
That's perfectly fine. I'm a native English speaker, and I use wrong words correctly all the time. There we go.
Oh, really?
See?
Fair enough.
Yeah, so no big deal at all. And I think this is now episode 90 of our podcast. So I'm pretty sure people are kind of used to my speaking at this point in time, if they've been listening to us especially if they've been listening to us for that long.
I don't know. We edit out a lot.
Yeah, I know. We've gotten a little better through the years, as believe it or not. So what inspired you to create Atomic Bear?
Well, it's funny. Like, I want to create my own sandbox and my own business, and there are many ways to do that, and there's so many things you could do. And just thinking back of what could have helped me back in my life, like when I was younger and as I grew up, like I had different challenges. For example, there's a case where my 4-month-old daughter was trying to be killed in a plane. That was totally horrific, going to Hawaii. And at the end, nothing bad really happened, but it was pretty stressful. And I realized that I was totally not equipped to deal with that situation, like even mentally or right. Physically. Yeah, I was 30. I was very skinny, not doing a lot of, I was in good shape, but and other times I could relate to. And also, so that's the self-defense aspect of the company. And we have another aspect that also is inspired by my time with my grandparents. They live up north in a place called Bécomo, and it's pretty far from everything, but it's very close to nature. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I was. My granddad was a hunter. He liked to build trails in the woods. He had his hunting camp and all that. So I had a lot of good time coming from the city to explore that part. And it always kept me close to nature and wanting to go back. So if I was thinking about how can I actually change or have an impact on people, what is the biggest impact you can have on people? Well, if you help them preserve their life, through an activity they do for fun, and that could turn bad. What else? What biggest objective or goals can you have? Like life preservation,
Right.
and also it's about how you feel doing activities. A lot of people are scared, not confident in different areas. Thinking about like a young woman moving to a big city, so sometimes the danger is not 100% real, and it's in your head. And how can you have skills or tools that will make you feel that you're ready to face the unknown, right? So these type of thoughts were where the company started on. So actually, my two first product were a survival bracelets and a tactical pen, the SWAT pen. So that's exactly that was the creation of those two branches, So, but survival as a general thing, as a general theme, is driving my development of the Atomic Bear. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love the fact that your whole purpose is kind of preserving life. I do. That is absolutely awesome. For us, one of the things that really drives us is to kind of help empower people to protect themselves and again, preserve life. We are a lot more on the just the self-defense side of it all. Mm-hmm. But I know I was looking at, you guys just joined TikTok not long ago. Yeah, and I think I was looking at a video that you guys had on there with the fire wand, and I'd seen it on your website before, but I didn't ever quite understand. And I love to go camping and stuff like that. Camping is a huge thing for us and our family. We love to do that. But I had never seen, when you put it out a video about like how fast and how quickly that worked, I was like, I think I might get one of those.
Well, that's the thing too. It's having fun while preparing to survive and or doing our activities. I'm someone who in life always joking and having fun, and sometimes my wife is a little bit bored of that. But it's having fun and having tools and people around and things you like is part of that. And I'm trying to contribute with our products to enable people. And the fire wand is a tool. I haven't invented the concept. The concept existed for years and years, using a wick and as a tinder. But when you put this in a little tube, you make it like fun to use with your thumb, and also help you start a fire when it's actually wet or when it's harder conditions. And maybe your lighter is not working, or your primary source of fire would not be suitable, or even if you want to have fun, like you just can use these I would say a little bit more primitive tools that can actually help you a lot in certain conditions. So that's fun. And TikTok, you guys are doing super well on TikTok. So I love watching your videos, trying to be inspired of how you guys do it. Obviously, we have a different spin on things that you guys, but it's very inspiring to see Carly and Jada.
Jada, yes.
Jada, yeah, I got it. I'm very bad with names, so the fact that I got it is pretty. So that's very nice, and I've been impressed by you guys. Like I remember one of the first time I saw you is because you were doing a video, I think with a flashlight. I think it was Carly. I was this is pretty cool. Start looking more of your content. And I'm like, wow, this is and having someone younger demonstrating those techniques, I think is inspiring for my daughters, for example, or for other, ladies, young ladies. And I think this is really cool. I'm enjoying a lot your content there, and I think everybody should spend some time to browse through it for sure.
Well, we really appreciate that. Yeah, when we jumped on TikTok, we didn't really know. People talked about it and said you guys should get on there. And we tried a couple of things, but then the moment we put Kylie on there and she was talking specifically to younger kids and stuff like that, things just really took off. Mm-hmm. Everybody enjoyed that fact. Now we pulled back because it just became a little overwhelming, but we're trying to start to roll back into it ourselves at this point in time.
What keeps you motivated to keep going with it?
Well, that's a great question. It's not a question I ask myself every day, but I think there's two aspects to it. Like there's a personal aspect that is, building a company from scratch. And I'm not a businessman by training. I'm a scientist. I work in research for 15 years. I was
really.
yeah, I was relatively accomplished and rare in my role, but decided to leave there. So I had to learn everything from scratch, like designing product. So one thing I love is learning new things, and I love designing products. Just don't do it enough because it costs a lot of money. But I love that part, and so there's part of me that is just it's like playing. Why are you motivated to play? Yeah, I'm motivated to play. It's like a big sandbox, like a 3-year-old with the trucks and the shovels, but it's fast forward that 43 years, and then you got me playing, building that company. That's one part. The other aspect is having a chance to talk to people like you guys, the employees that work with me. Designing new products and coming out with new stuff. It's very motivating, and the also the goal of what we're doing when we get customers, writing to us. I save a baby from a car. It was Phoenix. It was hot, and I'm an employee at Home Depot, and I saved that baby from heat stroke, and the mom was so thankful. Just that part, like, wow, that's really happening, right? Yeah. The other aspect is, when a lot of our products are great gifts. So if you guys are looking for gifts for Christmas, we have products that are unusual or are not the typical, pair of gloves, a pair of socks. They're pretty cool on that front, and there's a whole gift aspect to what we're doing that was not anticipated at the beginning. But like when you give a gift to someone, you know that your product contributes to make someone happy, please, create that bond. It's also a source of motivation, and I'm just thinking of also the goods that the product is going to do for that person. By again preserving life, feeling safer, potentially reaching out to self-defense school like you guys to learn a bit more about it. This whole thing and get in better shape, all that thing. So there's the ripple effect of what we're doing more than that goes beyond what we initially intended. That is really exciting, and I like to see that. So that's a great question, but and also the aspect of building, hopefully making money eventually, enough money for there's this aspect of being, in a world where you can build your own wealth by giving to other people. And that's what I do. I give to other people, give my time. I try to do some things that they will love. And this also has, it comes back, even if you're not crazy about like how you do your business, it comes back, and it comes back a lot. And then it's this thing, you give some more back, and it grows like that. And it's another part of that motivation. It's a long answer to your quick question, probably, but hopefully it's clear enough.
No, that's great. Looking back now, what's something you wish you had known when you got started?
Oh my God. There's so many things. I can tell you about the Stealth Pen Pro. This is this. I don't know if you guys have seen videos of that. This is
I cannot wait to get our hands on that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool tool. But I started like more than 2 years ago developing this thing, and finding the wrong people to work with, and they make all these mistakes, and nothing, right? So you're like, that doesn't sound right. Takes forever. Anyway, so how to develop a product in polymer with all these little parts made of different, the pen clip on this has been a struggle. Like, how would you think? It's not rocket science. Anyway, so it's a freaking pen, right? So look, finding out the right people is worth slowing down on your idea and your direction, and taking the time to find the right partner. So we're working with people in China, but the truth is that you cannot just work with the manufacturer unless you're an engineer and you speak Mandarin fluently. So you need to have like middle person that are managing on your behalf, and having those wrong middle people, or middle people that are not like as good as they should be, and you don't know because it's the first time you really do something that complex, then that's definitely one part. I would have never thought it would have taken me that more than 2 years. We had the final stage, and then there's some more problems coming through in the anyway. So we're solving, but yeah, so it's gonna come soon, but come out soon. That's one thing. Another thing is I think being a bit more intentional in all the activities you do every day. So, for example, like last year, I spent quite a bit of time building Instagram, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to try Instagram. So we have an Instagram. If you guys want to follow us, the Atomic Bear at Instagram, but it's been, it's been a fight, and I think you guys have been there too.
Yeah.
It was intentional, but really the problem with these channels for us is that because we have quote unquote weapons, is that we cannot advertise on them. So Facebook and Instagram, and we thought that a pen would be like a weapon and ammunition and whatever they define it is, what it is. But so I shouldn't have spent that much time there. I just wanted to get more friends, I guess, for the brand, from more people, connect with more people. So I hope TikTok is going to help. And then the content we create for TikTok, it will go everywhere else. So it's like so this is a bit more intentional. That's another, this applies to everything. When you do something, you really have to be intentional about your time and what's going to happen after that. Otherwise, you may have to do things twice, or what you do will go to a bit of waste, or
right.
So yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, social media has been really great, but also has been very frustrating at times because there's certain rules that they put on some of these things.
It's just specifically difficult for self-defense
it really
related products because it's all labeled as promoting violence. And in a sense, they're correct. Yeah, okay, we're promoting violence, but in like a life-saving sense, sometimes you have to be a little violent to save your life,
Yeah, that's that's the thing about self-defense, right? You're raising a point about how self-defense is being treated by the law. I was talking with a self-defense instructor in New Jersey, and he was telling me the law over there, and it's exactly what it is in Canada, right? You cannot defend yourself with anything you intended to use for self-defense, otherwise you're in trouble.
Right.
So the only thing that you safely can use, safely is a big word, is your hands, right? And that's why I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as to keep shape, and also to just get used to fight someone, or if it ever happen, I won't be as stressed or as unready. But so, and then the pens is what is left to carry. Like pepper spray in Canada is not allowed. Obviously, knuckle duster are not allowed. Knives are not allowed. You cannot carry a knife with the hope of using that for self-defense. And then all these things. And Facebook is very very edgy about all these things. And and the I don't know. I think the public opinion is still good in favor of self-defense and stuff. But I mean, it's it's a journey, right? It's a journey to promote what we're doing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So where do you see your company in 5 years? You've done it for 5 years. Where do you see it in the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think in 5 years, we have a lot more very innovative products. Our products are innovative, but I have so many ideas of things I want to bring to the market. And in 5 years, we will be in retail store. We will have be partner with a lot of self-defense coaches and instructors and work with them to better our line of self-defense product. We will have potentially. So one of the things I'd like to do is create this Netflix-like show for survival, platform that is survival only. So I have some ideas there that I think would be cool with really good creators, and then that would be like Netflix. You pay per month, but you get your the content, and So and people could go into the more personal self-defense, like protection and stuff, or it could be like wood survival. And Whether or not that we produce show, I don't know yet. But I mean, there's a lot of great content creator and that are looking to make money and from their work. And there's obviously YouTube and other places. But it's really hard to promote a course or promote something that you've built. And I think this could be a good platform to help and enable everybody to create more and better content. So that's another thing, another vision I have in mind.
That is neat. And that's something I had not really, that's something I definitely did not expect you to say, but I love that idea.
Yeah, well, man, I have so many ideas. The only thing is time and the team. So that we're not making enough money to hire the team to execute all my ideas. So that's the downside, but it's going to come. So working hard on that front. But and I think the company will. We're expanding a bit in Europe. Most of our attention is in the US, but the European market is thirsty for self-defense and for tools to protect themselves that are not prohibited. So, like in Canada, for example, and many states in the US also are pretty restrictive.
Right.
So so I think there's a lot of room for expansion and be present, a lot more present in people's life. Yeah.
So, and I actually wanted to ask you this a second ago, but I think I got sidetracked with something else you said and got to thinking about that. But when you were talking about the laws in Canada, as far as let's say without a doubt, our favorite tactical pen right now is the Rebel pen. We've made a couple videos about that. I'm pretty sure you guys know this. We've made a couple videos about that. We're about to make another one. Kylie's going to do a newly updated review of that one. We haven't done, I think we did one almost 2 years ago. And then we did something for TikTok on it and a couple things. But anyway, something like that. Are you unable to carry that in Canada?
Well, pens are all right in Canada. I think the challenge is not to carry it. So you can carry a knife as long as you can carry a knife. There's rules. I'm not the one who knows the law, but specifically about the blade and stuff. So it's just but you can carry a knife, just don't use it. Don't show it and don't use it. That's the thing. Same thing with a tactical pen. I think if you have a reason other than self-defense to carry something, so I think a tactical pen is totally safe. That's my interpretation.
If your intention with carrying like the Rebel pen is to, like in the case of in the Arizona, when that kid, the baby was locked in the vehicle and they used the pen to get it out. Yeah. Did you hear about that? Other than him talking about it a minute ago?
Talking about
really? Okay. No. I got the email on that one. So if that's your thought process in carrying that, but then if you do use it in self-defense, it's this then illegal.
Well, I don't think so. I think and again, I don't know any cases that run with that specific problem, and until it happens,
hard to throw legal questions on you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm actually a stupid person when it comes to law. But here's what for the purpose of entertainment only, I think there's no problem carrying a pen for self-defense because you want to write with your pen, right? Glass breaker, yes. If you get stuck in a car, there's all these reasons. But I got this nice pen, and I'm carrying for writing. So that's a legitimate reason to, and it's as opposed to a blade, a tool with a blade like a karambit or even just a knife. It's really hard to kill someone with a tactical pen, right? I'm not saying you cannot hurt or damage someone badly, but to kill someone, you've got to I think it's past the self-defense stage, and you can tell me what you think about that. But you can puncture someone in the face, you can hit someone very badly, but you would have to probably get the arteries on. I'm just saying here, not because I think it should happen, but you have to do pretty bad damage to kill someone with a pen like that. So legitimately,
it has to be pretty much so intentional, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, I think at least in the laws that we are under, in the state that we are in the United States, it would be legal under the correct circumstances. But I think it almost pretty much has to be intentional. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, but the goal here is to shock and awe, right?
Right.
You get someone on the knee, someone on the hip, someone on the head. It hurts. It bleeds right away, especially on the head, right? So there's this shock and awe. Well, if you're fighting like someone who's on drug and then it is totally past, doesn't feel anything, that's going to be a different story for sure. But if it's not the case, you can shock the person and have a chance to escape. That's the idea here. So, you've seen the movies, with Matt Damon, like Bourne Identity.
Oh, yeah.
All these cool scenes of pen fights. I don't think it really happens like that. It's pretty cool. Cali, I think, he used to choreograph that. But in real life, it's about I hit you as long as it takes to you to back off, and then I'm off, right? So. Sometimes you may not have the opportunity to leave, right? Or you have other people with you that you need to protect, your kids, your friends. And, so sometimes you have to fight back, and you can use your fists and your technical skills. But what happened really is that at that time, if you have a little bit of training and you know how to draw this thing and hit properly in the right spot, you might have a way better chance to scare the aggressor off, right? Yeah.
Yep. Other than the stealth pen that we've already kind of discussed a little bit, is there any other future products that you're kind of working on?
I'm working something a little bit more aggressive. This is I'm not sure how I could call this. I call this maybe the loop. This is just a prototype here, but basically it's a glass breaker. We're changing the design. This is a printed prototype, but it has a loop for quick deployment. So, and it's our goal is to make it also out of polymer.
So is that going to be a pen as well?
No, I wanted to make it a pen, but then we had a lot of little issues. I'm like, how I'm going to write with this? It's a bit awkward.
Yeah, I guess.
So, we might not make it a pen, or I was thinking also a flashlight. We could make it a flashlight. I had some ideas around that, but this is the intention here is to replace the good old Q-button,
right.
Tool
that
people.
Don't you?
I do. And so let me just say, for everybody listening to the podcast, we have more listeners to the podcast than we do watchers.
Yeah, that's good.
But so for anybody, it kind of looks like a pen, and it has a loop for, I'm assuming, what would be your index finger to fit right in up there at the very top. Yeah. So you can kind of hold it with a reverse kind of ice pick kind of grip.
Exactly. So. And it has so we haven't indexed each fingers, because what I found is people have different finger size, right? So
I think Glock found that out was not necessarily the brightest idea, because not everybody liked their finger grooves on their pistol.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? So, so that's another thing. And quick draw is important here, because often you're in chaos, have been pushed. Jogger is just a woman is jogging and then push on the side or whatever happened. You're in chaos. You have to be able to grab it, and this offers a lot more surface area. If it's made of polymer, it's going to be super light to carry. It's going to be tough too. We'll make the tip probably out of metal with a glass breaker. So again, you have the reason to carrying it. That is breaking glass to save someone in a car. It might be a little bit more of a stretch, but I still want this other function in self-defense.
Yeah, I really, really like that. I have learned that I really like stuff like that. I've started to really, really like karambits because of the ring on those. The one thing I would beg for you guys to create, it would be a folding karambit. I love the SWAT knife that you guys have. Yeah, but because of the retention that you have, and just like you said, the quick deploy that you have because of that loop on that, I would love to see you guys make a folding karambit of some type.
Well, knife is really tough, so I don't think we're going to go more into that. I explored it a little bit with the SWAT knife, but it's highly competitive. There's so many good knife manufacturers out there.
There are.
Yeah, and
I was just sitting here trying to, so in front of people, beg you to do something like that. That's all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I love. I got to know a little bit more Doug McCarida. He did the promotional video that you guys probably may or may not have seen for the Stealth Pen Pro. But
yes, I've seen it.
We spent hours chatting, and So I think the karambit is is out of our line. But yeah, like the thing is, when you put a creative or multiple creative mind on thinking about products, how it can make better and more functional, or just funnier to use, or like there's so many ideas that come out, and that's
Right.
that's what one thing I love about creation is that most of the things you can create them. Most things sometimes are really hard. Like think of SpaceX with a rocket to go to Mars, right? It's really, really hard, but eventually they'll get there, right? So if you put enough brain energy and creativity and passion to something, you can create about anything. So that's where I'm coming from. So yeah, Karambit. Not now. I'm not saying ever, but I'll.
It was worth a try.
Yes.
No, it's no secret. We talk about you guys a lot. We really like your products, and we like
Thank you.
Kind of like what you have done with them and stuff like that. So we're huge fans of yours. So the fact that like when I sent you an email and I said, "Hey, we'd love to have you on the podcast," and you jumped on that so fast, we were very, very excited.
Oh, wow, that's good. Thank you very much. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Now, we've asked several questions, but if you were in our shoes, what's a question that you would have asked that we haven't?
Wow, that's a great question. That's very meta. I don't know. I think... I don't know. I can, so someone get me talking, I can talk for hours. Like I love sharing I'm a more reserved person, but when you get to a podcast or like, so what can I, one thing I would say is, when it comes to challenges, you mentioned challenges, and one of the challenges I mentioned, social media and all that. It's really hard to juggle between all these seats when you're a small company, and having people who are just helpers. Like you contact me for a podcast. Yeah, I love talking. So why not? This is hard to juggle with all the aspects of creating a business. At the same time, you meet all these people, and one thing I would say is I will formulate in a simpler way. So. Sometimes you're trying to do something like something big or difficult or even easy. So if you just focus on the goal, on the end point, I would say that's a mindset I developed. If you just focus on the end goal, and this is the only thing you want, it's going to be really hard to get there. If you rather enjoy the journey while doing this, I remember in school, I studied a lot. I studied probably too much, but in school, like when you study, you can say, well, one day I will be this, or one day I'll be that. And what happened is what you have to start enjoying is the process of studying and knowing and applying your knowledge, because it becomes so easy to study, because you get to understand that this is helping you now, not just like when you be whatever you want to be. So same thing when you work, like you guys are building a self-defense school, and so you may have an end goal, but I'm sure you guys enjoy meeting new people, helping them, teaching them. So that applies to everything in life. If you enjoy what you're doing, you're passionate about it, and set big goals, because you want to have direction, and big goals that speak to you, like not big goals that someone else set for you, but something you want to achieve, and you have a direction. But then you in the trail, on the hike, on the top of the mountain, you're having time to observe the butterflies. You have time to listen to the birds. You have time to make a fire and cook a little thing here, and just enjoy life as you're doing that, as opposed to trying to race to achieve your goal. And in business, I think this is a problem with a lot of people that get burned out trying to go very fast, and just not enjoying their day. So that would be probably an advice I give, that from my own learning. So I think this is really important.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right. And as we're wrapping up here, if you could tell everybody, our listeners, where they can find you online.
Yeah. So our website is theatomicbear.com. We have also presence on YouTube, a small presence. We have a presence on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. But I would avoid Facebook and Instagram if possible. I just stopped liking them. But yeah, so we'll post there anyway. And yeah, we have newsletters and we have like offers and we have cool stuff coming. And if you want to know about that, you just go to our website and subscribe to our newsletter. And we'll make sure that we're not overwhelming you with emails, but with good stuff. So and offers on our products. Yeah, we try, and it's hard to find the right middle ground. But yeah, awesome.
Right. So it's been really nice having you on today, Jeff. Speaking of which, I never did say your last name because I don't think being from the Southern United States that I can pronounce your last name. So if you could say your last name.
Yeah, my last name is Truchon, but you can pronounce it Truchon. So okay, there you go.
Well,
you're not trying it out, right?
Not when there's a microphone in front of my face.
Awesome.
Thank you.
He's just gonna practice it later, like in the bathroom.
Next time we have you on, I might try it. We'll see.
Awesome.
But thank you very much for joining us today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So I thoroughly enjoyed that podcast. Honestly, I've talked to him before over email and stuff like that a little bit, but not in any kind of real personal way, just more, I guess, businessy. In the process of him developing the tactical pen, the Stealth Pen Pro or the Stealth Pen, that in those times, but like, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I always enjoy when we have guests on the podcast.
Yeah, I think that's, for 2022, we said we wanted to have a lot more guests, and we definitely have had a lot more guests on the podcast this year. And it has been a real joy not to just sit here and talk to each other all the time. No offense to you two ladies, and or anything, but
we get to see you guys all the time.
I think it's been a lot of fun to actually have some guests on and stuff like that, and to kind of reach out to somebody that has started a company, and to focus on like self-defense and survival tools that was a lot of fun. We've had other instructors and different things like that on, but we've not had anybody who actually creates these types of products.
Yeah.
So do not forget, if you do go over to theatomicbear.com, use the coupon code ImpactDefense at checkout. And something else that we need to talk about, if you're still listening, okay, number one, you should never cut us off before we're finished, by the way. There's no telling what's going to come out of our mouths. Two things that we need to make announcements on really quick. Number one, we are at episode 90. Okay, we are working on this thing. Kylie has really, really wanted to do a thing to get reviews. So if you haven't figured out by the way that she begs at the end of every single episode almost for reviews, then let's just go ahead and talk about that. So with her prodding me over and over again, we have decided that we are going to do a big, what's the word I'm looking for? Promotion. That's the word I was looking for. We're going to do a big promotion. Now, here is the deal, okay? You have to figure out a way to review the podcast. Write a review for the podcast, okay? Rate us and write a review. After that, you need to go over and email that to us. Just screenshot it and email it to us at Brian, BRIAN, at impactdefense.online. Okay, so do those two things. Write a review, screenshot it, and send it over to Brian at impactdefense.online. At our 100th show, actually, I guess we'll do it on 101. On our 101st show, we will draw from any of our reviews, and we're going to give you a $250 Amazon gift card.
Dang.
Yes. So, and Kylie is paying for it.
Cool.
The look on her face right now, if you're listening to the podcast, she was like, "No, Dad, I thought this was going to be your thing." So, all right, we'll figure that part out. But anyway, somebody's going to get a $250 Amazon gift card. You just need to be able to screenshot that, send it over to us, and we will contact you. So very excited to see who wins that. Second, okay, you guys know it's no secret we love our coffee. At the very, very, very bottom of the description in this podcast, you will find a thing that says support the show. Okay, at that is like $4.99. I'm pretty sure, from my understanding, it's through our provider. But anyway, it's like $4.99. Okay, if you go on there and you click on that, that is going to like support the show for $4.99 a month. We would greatly appreciate it. You know what? I know we have sponsors and everything, but our costs every month are not always covered by our sponsors. Okay, it's not like because we're paying for people to now, and he's awesome. Don't get me wrong, Uresh is awesome, but we're paying people to edit the podcast. We are, all this equipment. It was kind of given to us by a sponsor, so I can't really say anything about that. But there's still all these other costs that are involved in this, and all our costs are not always covered by our sponsors. So if you guys help us out and go over there and hit the support the show, $4.99 a month. If we just get 12 people, I was thinking about this earlier this morning. If we get just 12 people that will do that, that means that you have bought us coffee for every time. All three of us can have coffee every time we record a podcast in a month. That would be wonderful. Okay, you guys can't see Jada laughing unless you're watching this on the video. But anyway, all right.
Please, we're begging you.
We need coffee.
Support our coffee addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a serious addiction here. Okay, so anyway, I think all of our begging is done. Yeah.
Make sure to tune in for our 100th episode. We've got something special coming up for you.
Yeah, we're trying to work on that right now. That's only 10 episodes away. And then at 101, we will be announcing the winner of our drawing. Super excited about that. And I think we are done. Correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. All right, guys. We will see you later.